Have you ever felt like life is a relentless storm, pulling you in directions you never intended to go? Do you find yourself caught in the chaos, struggling to find peace amidst the noise? You're not alone. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with distractions, demands, and external pressures, it's easy to lose sight of our true selves and the life we genuinely want to live. But what if I told you there's a way to navigate this storm with calm and clarity? What if you could anchor yourself amidst the turbulence, finding peace in the present moment and strength in the challenges that come your way? This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism comes into play, offering timeless strategies for living with purpose, resilience, and inner peace. Today, on Stoic Quotes 365, we embark on a transformative journey, exploring how the teachings of the Stoics can help us create a life filled with meaning and fulfillment. From the company we keep to the boundaries we set, from loving deeply yet wisely to facing adversity with courage, each lesson is a step toward reclaiming our power and living authentically. Before we dive deeper, if you're seeking inspiration to live a fuller, more authentic life, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Stoic Quotes 365, and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any of our insights, designed to help you navigate the complexities of modern life with ancient wisdom. So stick with us until the end of this video, where you'll discover practical strategies to apply these Stoic principles in your daily life. Together, we'll explore how to transform not just your interactions with others, but also how you see and position yourself in the world, creating a life that reflects the strength, wisdom, and tranquility of the Stoic path. Number 1. Recognizing the profound impact of your surrounding. In the journey of life, one of the most profound truths we often overlook is the influence of those we allow into our inner circle. Just as the environment we live in can shape our health and mood, the people we surround ourselves with have an equally significant impact on our spirit and direction. The Stoics, those ancient architects of wisdom, understood this with a clarity that resonates through the ages. They taught that our relationships are the crucible in which our character is forged, and that by choosing our companions wisely, we set the stage for a life of peace, purpose, and inner strength. Imagine your life as a vast, flowing river. The people you choose to keep close are like the currents within that river, guiding you towards the ocean of your destiny. Some currents are gentle, nurturing your growth, helping you navigate the inevitable obstacles with ease. Take, for instance, the story of a student who, struggling with self-doubt, surrounded herself with mentors and peers who believed in her potential. Over time, their encouragement and belief in her abilities became the driving force that pushed her to excel beyond her expectations. Others, however, are turbulent, pulling you off course, sapping your strength, and filling your journey with confusion and strife. We've all encountered those relationships that seem to drain us, leaving us questioning our worth or our path. The Stoics believed that we must be vigilant, like a gardener tending to their most precious plants, in choosing which currents to follow and which to avoid. This doesn't mean we should avoid all difficult relationships. Sometimes, the most challenging ones can teach us invaluable lessons about resilience, patience, and self-control. However, it's essential to discern when a relationship is no longer serving our growth, but rather hindering it. It's like tending a garden. You must regularly prune the dead branches and weeds to allow the healthiest plants to flourish. This pruning, though painful, is necessary for the overall health and beauty of the garden. By choosing to surround ourselves with those who lift us up and share our values, we create a sanctuary, a space where we can thrive, reflect, and truly be ourselves. This sanctuary is not just a place of comfort, but a foundation from which we can face the world with courage and conviction. Imagine walking through life knowing that those closest to you are not only supportive, but also aligned with your deepest values and aspiration. It is this kind of support that enables us to face life's storms with unwavering strength. Number 2. The influence of relationships on personal and spiritual growth. In our daily lives, it's easy to forget the silent yet powerful influence that our relationships exert on our inner world. Yet the Stoics were acutely aware of this dynamic, teaching that the people we allow into our lives shape not only our thoughts but the very fabric of our souls. Just as a sculptor molds clay into a work of art, so too do our relationships mold us into who we are. Consider for a moment how your closest relationships have influenced your life. Each interaction, each word exchanged, is like a stroke of the sculptor's chisel, gradually shaping your character and outlook. For example, think of a young artist who, surrounded by a community of creators, begins to see the world not just in terms of what it is, but what it could be. This community encourages him to push boundaries, to see beyond the surface, and to create works that inspire others. On the other hand, a different environment, perhaps one filled with cynics and critics, might lead the same artist to doubt his abilities, to hold back from fully expressing his vision. Some relationships act like the nurturing hand of a master sculptor, bringing out the best in you, encouraging your growth, and helping you become the person you aspire to be. These are the friendships that push you to achieve your goals, that remind you of your strengths when you've forgotten them. Others, however, may act like a careless hand, chiseling away at your spirit, leaving behind cracks and imperfections that are hard to mend. These are the connections that leave you feeling drained, questioning your worth, or doubting your path. The Stoics remind us that personal and spiritual growth is not just a solitary endeavor, but a collective one. The people we choose to associate with either contribute to or detract from our journey toward wisdom and virtue. This awareness calls for a deliberate selection of our companions, those who inspire us, challenge us in healthy ways, and share our commitment to living a life of integrity and purpose. Imagine your life as a sacred temple, and each relationship as a pillar supporting its structure. By carefully choosing these pillars, you ensure that your temple remains strong, resilient, a reflection of your highest values. In this way, the Stoic wisdom encourages us to build relationships that are not just convenient or comfortable, but truly meaningful. Relationships that elevate our spirit and contribute to our journey toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Number 3, establishing personal boundaries as a path to inner peace. In a world that constantly demands more of our time and energy, establishing personal boundaries is not just a luxury, it's a necessity for maintaining inner peace and balance. The Stoics understood that in order to live a fulfilling and authentic life, one must learn to protect their energy and prioritize their well-being. This begins with the recognition that our time and emotional resources are finite, and without careful management, we risk depleting them on things that do not serve our highest good. Imagine your life as a garden. Boundaries are the fences that protect this garden from being trampled by external forces. Without these fences, anyone can walk in and take what they please, leaving the garden barren and neglected. Establishing boundaries is akin to setting up these fences, not to keep others out entirely, but to ensure that what is most precious within you is not exploited or drained by the demands of the world. The Stoics believed that personal boundaries are a declaration of self-respect and a recognition of our own worth. By clearly defining what we are willing to accept and where we draw the line, we communicate to the world that we value ourselves and our well-being. This act of setting boundaries is not about selfishness, but about preserving the integrity of our inner selves so that we can give from a place of fullness rather than depletion. Consider the example of an overworked professional who struggles to say no to additional responsibilities. Without boundaries, they may find themselves overwhelmed, stressed, and unable to perform at their best. However, by setting clear boundaries, such as limiting work hours or prioritizing time for rest, they can maintain their energy and focus, ultimately becoming more effective in their roles. Boundaries also play a crucial role in relationships. They allow us to interact with others from a place of balance, ensuring that our connections are built on mutual respect, rather than obligation or resentment. For example, setting boundaries in a friendship might mean being honest about your need for alone time, which in turn strengthens the relationship by preventing burnout and fostering a deeper understanding between both parties. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that boundaries are not barriers. They are bridges to healthier, more meaningful relationships and a more serene life. By establishing and honoring our boundaries, we create a space where we can grow, thrive, and live in harmony with our true selves. It's a practice of self-care that ultimately enriches not just our own lives, the lives of those around us. Number 4. The art of loving without attachment. Love is often considered the most powerful force in the world, capable of inspiring great deeds, deep connections, and profound transformations. However, the Stoics remind us that love, when entangled with attachment, can also lead to suffering, fear, and loss. The challenge, then, is to love in a way that is both deep and free, where the affection we give is unburdened by the desire to possess or control. Consider the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. Do so with all your heart." This teaching invites us to embrace love fully, but with a clear understanding that people and circumstances are transient. By recognizing the impermanence of all things, we can love with a purity that is not weighed down by the fear of losing the object of our affection. Imagine a romantic relationship where both partners understand and practice this principle. Instead of trying to change each other or placing heavy expectations on the relationship, they focus on supporting one another's growth and well-being. They cherish the time they spend together, not because they fear it might end, but because they recognize the inherent value in each shared moment. This kind of love is liberating. It is rooted in mutual respect and a deep appreciation for the other person as they are, rather than as we wish them to be. Similarly, think about friendships. We often cling to our friends out of a fear of loneliness or change. But what if we approach these relationships with a sense of detachment? This doesn't mean being distant or indifferent. Rather, it means loving our friends for who they are, without trying to mold them into what we want them to be. It means being grateful for the time we have together, without being consumed by the thought of it possibly ending. Such an approach fosters healthier, more resilient relationships, where both parties feel free to be themselves. Moreover, the art of loving without attachment teaches us to find joy in the present, without clinging to expectations for the future. This doesn't mean we should avoid making plans or having hopes, but rather that we should hold them lightly, ready to adapt as life inevitably changes. By doing so, we not only protect our peace of mind, but also cultivate a deeper, more lasting sense of contentment in our relationships. The Stoic practice of amor fati, or love of fate, is deeply connected to this idea. By embracing whatever comes our way with a heart full of love, we learn to see every relationship and every experience as part of a greater journey, one that is enriched by the presence of others, but not defined by it. This perspective allows us to navigate love's complexities with grace, maintaining our inner peace even as we open our hearts to others. Number 5. Expressing feelings and opinions with wisdom. In an era where communication is instantaneous and often impulsive, the Stoic practice of thoughtful speech is more important than ever. The Stoics believed that words should be used carefully, like tools, to build and strengthen relationships, not to destroy or weaken them. This principle encourages us to speak not just from a place of emotion, but from a place of reflection and wisdom. Consider the power of words in a heated debate. It's easy to let our emotions take the reins, leading us to say things we might later regret. But the Stoic approach calls for a pause, a moment of introspection before we speak. By taking a deep breath and considering our words, we can choose to respond in a way that promotes understanding rather than conflict. This practice not only helps us avoid unnecessary arguments, but also strengthens our ability to communicate effectively and compassionately. For instance, imagine you're in a situation where a friend makes a comment that hurts your feelings. Your initial reaction might be to snap back defensively. But what if, instead, you took a moment to reflect? You might realize that your friend didn't intend to hurt you, and a calm conversation about your feelings could lead to a deeper understanding between you both. This approach not only preserves the friendship, but also demonstrates the power of mindful communication. The Stoics also teach us that not every thought needs to be spoken. Just because we have an opinion doesn't mean it must be shared, especially if it doesn't contribute to the conversation or might cause harm. This doesn't mean we should suppress our true selves, but rather that we should discern when and how to share our thoughts in a way that is constructive and respectful. For example, in a professional setting, it's important to choose our words wisely, ensuring that our contributions are valuable and align with the overall goals of the team. Furthermore, expressing feelings and opinions with wisdom involves listening as much as speaking. By truly listening to others, we not only show respect but also gain insight into their perspectives, which can deepen our understanding and empathy. This practice of active listening is a cornerstone of Stoic communication, fostering connections that are grounded in mutual respect and understanding. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to communication teaches us that our words have the power to shape our relationships and our world. By choosing to speak with wisdom, we create an environment where honesty, empathy, and respect can flourish, leading to stronger, more meaningful connections with those around us. Number 6. The power of selective compassion. Compassion is one of the most beautiful and essential human virtues, but like any virtue, it must be exercised with discernment. The Stoics understood that while we should strive to be compassionate, we must also recognize our limits and focus our efforts where they can do the most good. This concept of selective compassion is not about withholding care, but about directing it wisely. Imagine you are part of a community where many people are in need. It's natural to want to help everyone, but trying to do so might spread your resources too thin, leaving you exhausted and ineffective. Instead, by focusing on specific causes or individuals where you can make a real difference, your efforts become more impactful. This focused approach ensures that your compassion is sustainable and that those you help receive the support they truly need. Consider a situation where a friend is going through a difficult time. You want to be there for them, but you also have your own responsibilities and limits. Instead of trying to be their sole source of support, which could lead to burnout, you could encourage them to seek professional help or to reach out to others in their support network. This way, you are still compassionate, but in a way that respects both your friend's needs and your own well-being. Selective compassion also means recognizing that we can't solve all the world's problems, and that's okay. By accepting this, we can avoid the guilt that often comes with feeling like we're not doing enough. Instead, we can focus on the areas where our compassion can have the most meaningful impact. For example, volunteering at a local shelter or mentoring a young person in your community might be more impactful than trying to tackle a global issue that's beyond your reach. Moreover, this approach to compassion helps us maintain our mental and emotional health. By not overextending ourselves, we ensure that we remain strong and capable of helping others over the long term. It's like the safety instruction on an airplane. You must put on your own oxygen mask before assisting others. In the same way, selective compassion allows us to care for ourselves while still being there for those who need us most. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from understanding our own limitations and working within them. By practicing selective compassion, we honor this wisdom, ensuring that our efforts to help others are effective and sustainable. This approach not only benefits those we help, but also preserves our own well-being, enabling us to continue being a positive force in the world. Number 7. Prioritizing yourself and being direct. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the profound recognition that we must take care of ourselves before we can effectively care for others. This principle is not about selfishness, but about self-preservation and empowerment. By prioritizing our own well-being, we lay the foundation for a life of purpose, integrity, and genuine connection with others. Imagine for a moment that you're trying to help a friend who's going through a difficult time, but you're completely drained, physically and emotionally. Your ability to support them is compromised because you haven't taken the necessary steps to recharge yourself. This is where the Stoic practice of prioritizing yourself comes crucial. It's about ensuring that your own cup is full before you try to fill others. This principle applies not just in relationships, but in all areas of life. For example, consider a busy professional who constantly sacrifices personal time for work, believing that this dedication will lead to success and happiness. However, over time, this neglect of personal well-being leads to burnout, diminishing both productivity and quality of life. The Stoics would advise this individual to set clear boundaries, to recognize that true success comes from a balance between professional responsibilities and personal health. Being direct is another crucial aspect of this Stoic lesson. It's about communicating your needs and boundaries clearly, without guilt or hesitation. This doesn't mean being harsh or unfeeling, but rather honest and respectful. For instance, if you're overwhelmed with commitments, it's better to directly decline a new request than to overextend yourself and end up resenting the situation. By being straightforward, you not only protect your own well-being, but also foster healthier, more transparent relationships. Consider how this applies in everyday interaction. If a friend consistently asks for favors that drain your energy, it's important to communicate your limit. Instead of agreeing out of a sense of obligation, you might say, "I'm sorry, but I'm unable to help with that right now. I need to focus on my own tasks." This honest approach might feel uncomfortable at first, but it ultimately leads to more respectful and balanced relationships. In the workplace, being direct can also enhance your professional integrity. If you're assigned a task that conflicts with your values or exceeds your capacity, it's crucial to voice your concerns. This not only preserves your well-being, but also builds a reputation of honesty and reliability. The Stoics believed that such clarity in action and communication is essential for a life lived in accordance with reason and virtue. By prioritizing yourself and being direct, you embody the Stoic ideal of living authentically and responsibly. You honor your own needs while maintaining the integrity of your relationship. Number 8. Embracing adversity and finding strength in challenges. Life is an unpredictable journey, often marked by trials and tribulations that test our resilience and resolve. The Stoics, with their deep understanding of the human condition, teach us that adversity is not something to be feared, but embraced as a catalyst for growth and strength. This perspective transforms challenges from obstacles into opportunities, enabling us to thrive even in the face of hardship. Consider the ancient Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evil. This exercise involves mentally preparing for potential challenges by envisioning the worst-case scenarios. By doing so, we not only diminish the fear of the unknown, but also equip ourselves with the mental fortitude needed to face adversity head-on. For example, if you're worried about a difficult conversation with a colleague, you might mentally prepare by considering the possible outcomes and rehearsing your responses. This preparation helps to reduce anxiety and fosters a calm, controlled approach to the situation. In real life, think about an athlete who faces the setback of an injury. While the injury might initially seem like a devastating blow, it can also be an opportunity to develop mental toughness, refine strategies, and build resilience. By embracing the challenge, the athlete can return to their sport stronger and more determined. This approach applies to any adversity we face, whether it's a professional setback, personal loss, or a health issue. By seeing these challenges as opportunities for growth, we transform them into stepping stones on our path to becoming stronger and wiser individuals. The Stoics also teach us that adversity reveals our true character. It's easy to be virtuous when life is going smoothly, but it's during difficult times that our inner strength is truly tested. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This Stoic belief encourages us to view challenges as essential parts of our journey, shaping us into the people we are meant to become. For instance, someone who loses their job might initially feel despair, but by embracing the adversity, they might discover new passions, develop new skills, or even start their own business. Challenge becomes the catalyst for a new and more fulfilling chapter in their life. In embracing adversity, we also learn the invaluable lesson of emotional resilience. Rather than being overwhelmed by challenges, we learn to navigate them with a calm and steady mind. This resilience not only helps us survive difficult times, but also thrive in the face of future challenges. Each adversity we overcome builds our inner strength, preparing us for whatever lies ahead. This is the essence of Stoic strength, not the absence of difficulty, but the mastery of it. Number 9. Living in the present with fullness. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to become consumed by worries about the future or regrets about the past. The Stoics, however, remind us of the profound importance of living in the present, of fully experiencing the here and now. This practice, known as mindfulness in modern terms, is a cornerstone of Stoic wisdom, encouraging us to find peace and fulfillment in the current moment, no matter what it holds. Imagine you're sitting in a beautiful park, but instead of enjoying the scenery, you're lost in thoughts about an upcoming work deadline. In this scenario, you're physically present, but mentally elsewhere, missing out on the beauty and tranquility around you. The Stoics would urge you to bring your focus back to the present moment, to fully engage with your surroundings and the sensations you're experiencing. By doing so, you not only reduce stress, but also enhance your overall well-being. Living in the present with fullness means embracing each moment as it comes, without letting the mind wander too far into the past or future. For example, when you're having a conversation with a loved one, being fully present means listening attentively, without distractions or preconceived responses. This presence fosters deeper connections and enriches the quality of your relationships. It also allows you to respond more thoughtfully and authentically, rather than reacting out of habit or anxiety. The Stoics believed that the present moment is the only time we truly have. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. By focusing on the now, we maximize our effectiveness and our joy. This doesn't mean we should ignore planning or reflection, but rather that we should avoid becoming so fixated on what was or what might be that we lose sight of what is. For instance, instead of worrying incessantly about a future event, the Stoics would advise focusing on what can be done now to prepare, and then letting go of the rest. Living in the present also involves appreciating the simple joys of life. Something as basic as the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite food, the sound of birds singing in the morning. By paying attention to these small moments, we cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude and contentment. This practice helps to ground us, providing a sense of peace amidst the chaos of everyday life. In essence, living in the present with fullness is about being fully engaged with life as it happens. It's about embracing each moment with awareness and intention, recognizing that each breath, each experience is a gift. This mindful approach not only enhances our day-to-day life, but also builds a foundation for greater resilience and happiness. Number 10. Flexibility and adaptability. In a world that is constantly changing, flexibility and adaptability are essential skills for navigating life's challenges with grace and wisdom. The Stoics, who lived in a time of great uncertainty and upheaval, understood the importance of being able to bend with the winds of change rather than breaking under their force. This ability to adapt is not just a survival strategy, but a path to growth and fulfillment. Imagine you're planning an important event, but on the day of, everything goes wrong. The weather turns bad, the venue cancels, and key people are unable to attend. It's easy to become frustrated and stressed in such situations, but the Stoics would encourage a different approach. Instead of resisting the changes, they would advise embracing them, finding new solutions, and remaining calm in the face of adversity. This flexibility allows you to turn potential disasters into opportunities for creativity and resilience. Consider the bamboo plant, which bends with the wind but doesn't break. This is the essence of Stoic flexibility, remaining grounded and strong while being open to change. In practical terms, this might mean adjusting your plans when circumstances shift, or being open to new ideas and perspective. For example, if a career path suddenly becomes unviable due to economic changes, instead of despairing, a Stoic would explore new opportunities, perhaps discovering a more fulfilling direction they hadn't considered before. Flexibility also applies to our mental and emotional states. The Stoics teach us that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. This mental adaptability is crucial for maintaining inner peace in a constantly changing world. For instance, if you face criticism or failure, instead of letting it crush your spirit, you can adapt by viewing it as feedback and an opportunity to learn and improve. This mindset not only protects your peace but also fuels continuous personal growth. Being adaptable doesn't mean being passive or lacking direction. It's about being resilient and resourceful, finding ways to move forward even when the path is uncertain. This adaptability is particularly valuable in today's fast-paced world, where change is the only constant. Whether it's adapting to new technologies, shifting job markets, or evolving social norms, the ability to adjust with the times is essential for both personal and professional success. Moreover, embracing flexibility allows us to navigate life's challenges with a sense of curiosity and openness. Instead of fearing change, we can approach it with the mindset of discovery, asking ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can this situation help me grow? This approach turns challenges into adventures, where each twist and turn offers new insights and opportunities. In conclusion, flexibility and adaptability are not just strategies for coping with change, but powerful tools for thriving in an ever-evolving world. By embracing these qualities, we not only navigate life's challenges more effectively, but also open ourselves to the full spectrum of experiences and opportunities that life has to offer. As we've journeyed through these 10 Stoic principles, I hope you found both inspiration and practical tools to apply in your own life. Remember, Stoicism isn't just about enduring life's challenges. It's about thriving amidst them, cultivating a mindset that sees every obstacle as an opportunity for growth, every challenge as a stepping stone toward a more resilient and peaceful existence. If these insights have resonated with you, I encourage you to start integrating them into your daily routine. Begin with small steps, perhaps by setting clearer boundaries or practicing gratitude, and watch how these small changes can lead to profound transformations. Before you go, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these Stoic lessons speaks most to you? How do you plan to apply it in your life? Share your reflections in the comments below. I read every one of them, and your experiences could inspire others in our Stoic Quotes 365 community. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next deep dive into the practical wisdom of Stoicism. Give this video a like. It's brought value to your day. And let's continue this journey together, exploring the depths of ancient wisdom to live more meaningful, resilient, and peaceful lives. Thank you for being part of the Stoic Quotes 365 community, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.